Mic is charged. Don't have to worry about it dying on me. All right, let me put a little bit more up there. Hold on a second, guys. All right, perfect, guys. Welcome to the channel. All right, welcome to the channel. All right, this is OE MMA TV. I'm your host, OE. If you're new to the channel, like and subscribe. Okay, it takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it. Thank you for supporting independent MMA media, guys. All right, like I always say, this is your channel, the only channel where the fans come first, not last. All right, guys, let's get straight into it. All right, let's get straight into it. Topic of discussion today is health is wealth, guys. Okay, health is wealth. How you doing, Mustard? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to your home. Topic of discussion is health is wealth, guys. I don't know if you guys heard the news about Ben Askren. Okay, but the guy looks like a shell of himself. Okay. It's a sad story with him. You know, it's a sad story with health in general. 100% is my poor boy Ben. Yeah, man. Ben Askren, he's he's in the hospital. He's recovering. Okay, he is recovering from surgery. I believe it was I forget what was it? Two lung surgeries or something like that. Two lung replacement surgeries, something like that. Something crazy. Something that you're not supposed to live after, basically. The man is pushing through. He survived. And I'm really hoping Ben Askren pulls through, man. I really am, man. For his family and for his sake, I really hope he pulls through, man. He deserves it. I think the healthcare in the United States is fucking atrocious. It's a sad story when everybody is looking out for their bottom dollar. Nobody's looking out for, just to be a normal human being. How is his health insurance declined paying for the surgery that he needed? And I think that's atrocious because here we are paying monthly, for health insurance. And then when we get badly ill, a situation arises like this with Ben Askren where he needs, surgery right away. You're telling me the insurance company is going to halt the situation and halt his ability to survive? That makes me sick. The people who are in charge of making those decisions, okay, you need to be held accountable. And we wonder why. We wonder why there's people out here running around with weapons willing to kill executives of the healthcare industry. We wonder why. It's because of situations like this. It makes me fucking sick. Ben Askren, he didn't ask for this. Okay, he's a retired fighter. He's a wrestling coach. Okay, a great person to look up to. Really is. He always helps his community. He's always helped the wrestling, atmosphere. He's always helped those kids out. And for the healthcare industry to fail him in that manner, that makes me fucking sick. And I'm glad somebody actually, did pay up for the surgery. Somebody did donate and help Ben Askren and his family. And now Ben Askren is in the recovery process. It's a crazy story, man. And they wonder why the people who run these businesses get treated like crap. My point exactly. When he gets back, he should try Sue Hard. Does it fart? I don't know what you're talking about, Matt. Hopefully, hopefully your mouth doesn't fart. All right. Askren is a good guy. He'll probably find a way to keep a smile because he's just him. I mean, Mustard, I couldn't have said it better myself, honestly. Ben Askren is one of those guys. After he lost against George Masvidal, it wasn't like he was, out here making excuses. It wasn't like he was out here saying, "Oh, he's the better fighter." But unfortunately, that night, it just wasn't his night. No, he wasn't out here making excuses. Ben Askren went out there and said, "Hey, what am I going to do? He knocked me out in 7 seconds. Worst knockout in UFC history. There's nothing that I could do. The only thing I can do is smile and move forward." I love that type of attitude of Ben Askren, and we need more people like him in this earth. We really do. And I think it's a sad story. It's atrocious that the healthcare industry is at a point where it is right now. That's the reason why I tell everybody health is wealth, man. Health is wealth. I see people, don't get me wrong, I've been there. I've been there and done that. Even right now, I'm doing it right now. I'm hustling, I'm grinding, I'm working multiple, things. I'm doing multiple things to get, income streaming. Okay, I understand this. You know what I mean? You wanna put, position yourself, to have a better future. I understand all that. You know what I mean? But I know people, that they're grinding just like I am, but they're risking their health. Damn near working 7 days a week, almost 7 days a week, 6 days a week. You know what I mean? Fucking damn near working, almost 90 hours a week. That's not gonna be good for your health, man. That's not gonna be good for the long term. You know what I mean? Outcome of your health. We gotta really look out for ourselves, man. We really do. That's why when people, when people talk to me, hey, I gotta go work overtime today. You know what I mean? I'll meet up with you next time. I'm like, okay, go ahead, do your thing. And it's like, you think that company cares about overtime? They don't give a damn about that. They want you to come in. They want you to slowly and progressively give up on all your goals so their goal can be your goal. And that's where people are slowly progressing into, man. Honestly. Yeah, Askren smiled and moved on from the Mazarov knockout. He definitely did, man. He definitely did. But I thought I had to go on here and talk a little bit about Ben Askren. Phenomenal person. The guy weighs he weighs as much as less than me. He weighs less than me. I weigh right now 160 pounds, just about. Ben Askren is walking around at 147 pounds. Guys, 147 pounds for a guy like Ben Askren's stature, that's crazy to me. That's crazy. I mean, he's a taller guy. You know what I mean? He's a taller guy. He always was well built. He was always upwards in the, 215, 220, 25 range. You know what I mean? That's where he walked around at, or maybe even a little bit less, but he's a bigger guy, man. And for him to, lose that much weight, 147 pounds, that's crazy. The recovery process, hopefully, slowly but surely, he recovers really, really well, and he makes a full recovery, man. But I don't even know what a full recovery looks like after a surgery like that. I really don't. I don't know how it looks like. I don't. So I just hope him and his family are prepared for what's to come, and hopefully, his health does come back 100%, man. Is it normal to feel inadequate and stupid as an intern at work? MMA, not really, man. Not really. I've been an intern. I was an intern at a studio. I was an intern at Stark Lake Studios, one of the most prestigious studios here in the southern hemisphere. I was an intern there, and let me tell you something. I wasn't walking around like I knew everything. I definitely did not know everything. I felt stupid at times. You know what I mean? And I was the guy who was running errands. Go get coffee, go get food. Set up. The band's equipment, things of that nature. So being an intern is a learning experience, it's a learning process. But try to just be a sponge. You know what I mean? Try to be a sponge. Soak up as much as you can from that experience, because that experience only happens once. Okay, so enjoy it as it comes. But welcome back to your home, MMA. I really appreciate you here, man. 100%. Askren had a good little run in ONE FC. He was a good fighter. I mean, Mustard, he was undefeated. You know what I mean? Ben Askren was an undefeated fighter in ONE FC who out wrestled everybody and submitted them. You know what I mean? He found huge success. Huge success. There was people like Joe Rogan praising Ben Askren for his winning streak and hoping that Ben Askren came to the UFC. And he did eventually. Didn't find much success in the UFC, but he had a great career. He really did. I definitely don't think the UFC got Askren in his prime. Definitely did not. They definitely didn't get Ben Askren in his prime. He was definitely out of his prime by the time he got into the UFC. Same thing with Demetrious Johnson. However, Demetrious Johnson is another animal, man. You know what I mean? Went to ONE FC, found huge success as well over there, just like he did in the UFC. Yes, he got, KO'd and, had some tough opponents over there in ONE FC. But for the most part, Demetrious Johnson found success. Thanks, big brother. I am no one's big brother, but I am just the pilot here on this channel. This is your channel. Like I always say, This is the only channel where the fans come first, not last. So you already know what it is, man. You know what I mean? I'm just a pilot. I'm just a pilot. You guys are guiding this channel. We go as far as you guys take us. Okay. But man, when it comes to Ben Askren, his family, healthcare, you look. I said this once and I say it again. All right, I said this once and I say it again, man. I used to train at gyms. I used to go to gyms, train Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, train my Muay Thai, do some sparring with a couple of people. And let me tell you something. Over the years, I started noticing that I was getting more injuries at the gym than than actually spending time at the mats. And that's not what you want to be. That's not where you want to be. I mean, that's not where you want to be, excuse me. And a lot of these things happen. You know, I mean, I believe Ben Askren got a bad infection. It was some. It started off as a some type of staph infection. You know what I mean? And this staph infection, you know, ended up becoming just this thing that took over his body and started deteriorating his body. But it all started, if I'm not mistaken, like a staph infection. And from what I know, staph infections are infamous in gyms. You know what I mean? Because gyms, they're sweaty bodies, the cleanliness is not really there. You do your due diligence. You try to do your best to clean the gyms and clean the mats and keep them, up to par. But there's only so much you can do, especially when you got so many bodies on the mat and so many different people. You have to look out for your best interest. You got to look out for your health, man. And that's one of the reasons why I ended up taking myself out of that atmosphere at going to gyms and just training ever so often with friends and at their houses in the garage. We bought mats and we get together when we get together. But there's no reason, in my opinion, if you know what you're doing, there's no reason to go to a gym anymore, man. Unless you want to compete at a high level. You know what I mean? But you got to keep yourself safe, man. You got to keep yourself safe. And from my experience, gyms are not doing their due diligence to keep people, individuals, safe at their gym. Either you're catching a staph infection, okay, that might just kill you. Because look at what happened to Ben Askren. Guy dies 4 times, okay? Or you go to a gym and you get a catastrophic injury, torn MCL, torn ACL, or pull fucking hamstring, or maybe even worse, you blow out your shoulder. You got to keep yourself safe, man. Let me read some of these comments. To be fair, he got KO because he probably wasn't used to grounded knees. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. I mean, I could see that, especially in his position. How many years he was in the UFC, and they don't really allow that position to be established, especially in the way that ONE FC uses it. So definitely, I could see that. I could see that for sure. Bro, the gyms in Dagestan have oceans of sweat. My point exactly, guys. My point exactly. You got to keep yourself safe, man. You got to do your due diligence and know that, you know, people have cuts. People have little cuts on their fingers. People have cuts on their body. A person might walk in with a cold sore on their lip. You might not even see it. You know what I mean? You might not even see the cold sore, and he's there wrestling on the mats, and there it is. An infection has started right there on the mats, and it doesn't help with the temperature in the gym. You know what I mean? Because if you're sweating, the temperature in the gym is going to be hella hot. Well, that's a place where infections thrive. You know what I mean? So you gotta protect yourself. You gotta protect yourself and know, what to do and what not to do. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to a gym. I don't go to gyms anymore for that specific reason because of staph infections. That shit is nasty. All right, that shit is fucking disgusting. Because of staph infections, one, and because of injuries. Those are the 2 main reasons why I do not go to gyms anymore. I train with my friends, and that's all I need. I don't get how some guys just don't get injured in the gym. It's like, how? Don't get me wrong. There was many times throughout my years I didn't get injured, but every so often, I don't know what it is, but you end up sparring with someone or you end up rolling with someone, and they end up pushing a little bit harder. They end up taking the role or taking the sparring session a little bit more serious, than you guys intended for. You know what I mean? And that's how injuries occur. Is when, you know, one person is kind of firing on all cylinders, and then the other person is not really firing on all cylinders, and they clash, and something happens there. You know what I mean? I've gotten, like I said, I've gotten multiple injuries. I tore my shoulder. I tore my shoulder apart. I got in my MCL. You know, I had some situations with my MCL. I had a situation with my hamstring. I had a situation with my back and my rib. I broke my rib during a sparring session at the gym. What else? I mean, I broke my pinky in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I mean, multiple injuries were at the gym. I've never gotten injured half as bad in a competition. You know what I mean? More than how I get injured at the gym. Facts. When you're rolling with someone and you hear a pop, bro, that happened. That happened to me. That happened to me. I was rolling with a bigger guy, and he was having because I have really, really good balance. I have really, really good balance. So for anybody, it doesn't matter what size you are, big, medium, or small, it doesn't matter. When you grab a hold of me, you're gonna have a problem, because if you're trying to take me down, it's not as easy to take me down. You're gonna have to use a lot of brute force to take me down, because I know a lot of technique to keep myself on my feet. And this person that I was rolling with, mind you, I've never rolled with this guy. He was, you know, kind of a new guy at the gym, and he was a bigger guy than me. He probably weighed like around 225, 230. At the time, I probably was maybe, I'll give myself like 135. I was really, really small because I was looking to compete at this time. And when we're rolling together and I'm on, you know, I'm on the wall and he's trying to take me down, and he was having a little bit of trouble taking me down. So what he did was he basically just used brute force and tried to slam me onto the ground. And when he went to go slam me onto the ground, I went to like post with my hand. I went to post to protect my face. And when I went to post, my shoulder and my collarbone were literally, it just popped out of place and it went right to my chin. That was the most, that was painful. I had to admit that was most likely one of the worst pains I've ever felt in my life, because for some odd reason my collarbone, it hit my throat, and it was like I needed to get my shoulder back in place in order to for my collarbone to get back in place, and that was hella troubling. Oh my god! But it all worked out. I'm here. My shoulder's fine. I try not to hard spar. I don't think it does much to improve skill. Just lose more chin resistance. Yeah, man. But there's some guys that want to go in there. They want to go all out. They want to go in there and they want to knock somebody out. There's some guys that are, you know what I mean. That's the only reason why they go to the gym is to knock somebody out. I met those people. I met guys that, you know, they have tough jobs, and I remember I sparred a CO, a correctional officer. He was this black guy. He was a correctional officer. He was a little bit bigger than me. Like in height wise, he was definitely bigger than me, size wise, but height wise, he was just a little bit taller than me. And we're sparring. And I remember this guy, this CO, this correctional officer, I can tell that he had a tough day at the office, because let me tell you something. He was throwing punches like he was gonna knock me into fucking next year. I remember vividly. And I remember my ass saying to myself, okay, he's gonna throw some punches, then I'm gonna attack his body. And that's what I did. I just started attacking his body. And slowly but surely, you know, by the time that round ended, those punches were being thrown like slow motion. I could literally just get out of the way. But there's some people like that just, you know, they have tough jobs. They come to the gym and their only sole purpose at the gym is to get that aggression out. And I could understand that. All right. I could, but that's not what I want to partake in. 100%. My worst was a shoulder popping out of place. That was my worst injury. I tore my I didn't tear my ACL. I sprained very, very badly my MCL. Very bad. I had to recover for it took like about 3 months to recover, and about 4 months to fully recover. So that was a tough process for my MCL. But my shoulder, oh my god, my shoulder since the injury has never been the same. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do what I can. I definitely work out, and I definitely you know, try to give it strength, try to make it stronger over the years, but it's definitely not the same. You know what I mean? Is an injury that's always lingering, but since that day, it has not popped out of place. It hasn't popped back out of place. So I guess I'm doing a good job. That's Sean Strickland culture, right? I'm telling you, Sean Strickland, he's one of those guys that just want to go in there and take your head off, man. He wants to just bada bing, bada boom you. You know what I mean? It's craziness. Guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up. It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up. So you might as well do it. Sorry about that. And like I always say, this is your channel. The only channel where the fans come first, not last. And don't forget to click that bell notification, guys, okay? It keeps us all connected in this beautiful community that you guys are building. Like I always say, man, we go as far as you take us, okay? So keep supporting the channel, man. I really appreciate you guys. We're going to fucking war, man. Meanwhile, in his fight, is Jab and Teep. We're going to war, guys. I'm gonna go out there. We're gonna bleed, guys. I'm gonna bleed for you guys. We're gonna bleed. We're gonna stand right there. We're gonna fight. We're gonna cockfight each other, and we're gonna do this, guys. We're gonna bleed, guys. Yeah, that's what Sean Strickland says. He always says that shit, and I can guarantee he's not gonna do anything about that. Okay, the only person that's gonna bleed is him. That's the only person that's gonna bleed. Guaranteed facts. Sean Strickland, that guy. There's rumors that Sean Strickland, he might be one of the headliners for the White House. All right, what do you think about that? Sean Strickland as a headliner at the White House, or possibly a co-main event, guys. That is crazy. That is crazy. I hope Izzy doesn't fight him again. Nobody wants it. I think Izzy wants it. I think Izzy wants that fight back. If anybody wants that fight back, I bet you Izzy does want that fight back. For sure, 100%. And for me, I don't really want to see it either. You know what I mean? I don't really want to see it either, to be honest with you. I'd rather see something else. I'd rather, I don't know. I'd rather see something else, though. You know what I mean? I wonder who Izzy's going to fight when he does come back or decide to come back. Kobe is probably fuming not being in convo for the White House. He actually is. He actually is in the convo for the White House. Not for the main event or the co-main event, but there is speculation that actually Colby Covington might make the card. You know what I mean? So why not? Put him on the card. Put him against some formidable opponent. You know what I mean? Somebody on his level. Don't put him against somebody who's, fighting for the belt. You know what I mean? Kobe is not there. You know what I mean? Kobe is way past his prime. And he just needs to fight entertaining fighters. You know what I mean? Fights that are going to be entertaining for him and the fans as well. You know what I mean? So those are the type of fights that I'm interested in seeing. I would like Conor versus Kobe. That might back and forth would be insane. It definitely would be. It definitely would. But I don't think that fight would happen either. I don't think that fight would happen either. Kobe Covington and Conor McGregor. I don't think the UFC would want to put that on. If the UFC was going to bring Conor McGregor back, I most likely think they're going to bring, the guy from Nashville, Tennessee, Michael Chandler, which I don't want to see that shit. I definitely don't want to see that. And I'm surprised. I'm actually surprised that Michael Chandler didn't make this card this Saturday because that card is being held in Nashville, Tennessee. So why didn't the UFC, call Michael Chandler on the telly and tell him, hey, we're headed to Nashville, Tennessee, and you already know, you know what I mean? You're the guy. So let's do this. Main card, this freaking card. But no, instead we got Nate the Train from Nashville, Tennessee, making his appearance and fighting on this card. The hometown boy fighting on this card. That's entertaining. That's entertaining enough, man. Literally, he's only one loss away from a title shot. Who are you talking about? Literally, he's only one loss away from a title shot. What? What does that mean? What are you talking? One loss away from a title shot. I like the way you put that. Oh my God. Oh my. Yep, you're absolutely right. That's basically how the UFC does things, especially for Michael Chandler. Honestly, hold on a second. How to grab that damn thing. Oh man, but yeah, guys. I love the way they sell that. I love the way they sell that. You know what I mean? Especially when it comes to Michael Chandler. I think that's funny as hell. I think that is funny as hell. Maybe Michael Chandler will make it. Maybe Michael Chandler will make it to the next card. Honestly, I wouldn't mind watching him fight Saint Denis. Could be fun at least. Yeah, I think, man, you're right. You're absolutely right. You know what? The UFC should hire you. The UFC should hire you to to make these cards instead of Sean Shelby and Mick Maynard, two of the guys that we should hold accountable for these atrocious cards. Mike Maynard and Sean Shelby, they can't even put two brains in a fucking pod to make a good card. Remember, back in the day, Joe Silva was the only guy making these decisions and making these cards. And let me tell you something, Joe Silva made cards very entertaining. But Sean Shelby and Mick Maynard, they're terrible at their jobs. They need to be held accountable. I would like to sit at the table and have a conversation with those two men, okay? Because I could come up with, me alone, I could come up with way better cards than what they came up with, especially in 2025. 2025 has been atrocious when it comes to the cards. Top to bottom. Did you see UFC Seattle? Shambles. Because right now, he's not even a top 10. No, he's not. Michael Chandler is definitely not a top 10. I mean, he's taking more L's than ever. If, in my opinion, the fight that they should make is Michael Chandler versus Dan Hooker. I would like to see that fight. I want to see that rematch. Dan Hooker deserves to rewrite history and deserves to rewrite that wrong. Okay? And I honestly think Dan Hooker will go in there and beat Michael Chandler in the second go. And I think the UFC needs to book that. That's a very entertaining fight. Both guys are not going to try to take each other down. They're going to throw power. They're going to, throw striking. And they're going to try to knock each other out. So why not book that? If he gets past BSD, maybe give him Gamrot or Marciano. Yeah, Marcano, I think that's a good one. Dan Hooker will cut up Chandler in a rematch. I want to see it. Dan Hooker deserves to rewrite that. He deserves it, guys. He honestly does. Excuse me. He deserves to rewrite that. But guys, I will be going live this Saturday for this event. I'm most likely going to go live for the main card. I'm not going to go live for the whole event. I mean, that's damn near 5 to 6 hours, from beginning to end, man. And I tried that once. And let me tell you something. My back was feeling it. So I'm most likely going to go, I'm going to go live for the main card. And yeah, hopefully I catch you guys there on the live, play-by-play for this Saturday, headline by Lewis versus Teixeira. And like I said before, Teixeira running on some momentum here. His last fight got a quick KO in the first round, and he has a lot of momentum. Lewis has been around in the game for a long, long time. He's fought the who's who. I believe he's like top 10. I believe he's ranked like probably 9th in that division. That's in shambles. So hopefully both men come out there and make it an entertaining fight, because this card, as I'm looking at it right now, this card is not bad. This card is not bad at all. You know what I mean? The fight that I'm looking forward to the most right now is Nate the Train Landwehr versus Morgan. A lot of people are, counting out Nate. They think Morgan is going to take it because he's a younger fighter. I believe he's like 28, 29 years old. And Nate Landwehr, I believe he's like 37. Yeah, I believe he's like 36, 37. So a lot of people think that Nate, he's past his prime and he's not going to get this dub. But in my behalf, I think Nate the Train is going to go in there, make his hometown happy. He's going to make this fight entertaining and look for the finish. I think Nate Landwehr will take that fight, but that's the fight that I'm looking forward to this fight night. That's for damn sure. As for Colby, maybe he can fight Kevin Holland or something. Kevin Holland, I think he's fighting somebody else. I think Kevin Holland is fighting Rodriguez at UFC 318 or 319. I believe that's official, actually. Kevin Holland versus Rodriguez in the welterweight division. I believe it's UFC 319 or 318, one of those cards. But I believe those two men will be fighting each other. Kevin Holland versus Rodriguez. That's going to be a fun one. Rodriguez always goes in there and, tries to look for the knockout. Yeah, he's he doesn't look like his own self. He's a little stiff, nowadays. But I still like Rodriguez. I really do. And hopefully Rodriguez could go in there and beat Holland, honestly, because I don't like Kevin Holland. I don't like that guy. I really don't. Especially after the what's it the Jackson podcast. After he went on that podcast, it just showed me what type of personality he has, and he's just a jackass, in my opinion. It's too bad, man. Kobe had so much potential. He did. Kobe definitely had a lot of potential. He had great striking. He had great wrestling. He knew how to mix it up. But unfortunately, there was Kamaru Usman there who didn't let him touch the gold. Unfortunately. But yeah, he definitely uh, had a lot of potential. I honestly think if he didn't burn so many bridges, he would have won that belt. He would have won the belt. Maybe, right? But that's all speculation at the end of the day. I've always been a Kobe Covington fan. I actually met Kobe Covington on I don't want to say on a personal level, but on a kind of personal level. We kind of talked. Um, we definitely exchanged DMs and stuff like that after we met each other. Because I would ask him a couple questions and he would answer. And this was like the time where this is the time before he fought Usman, where he was shouting Usman's name to fight him. I met Kobe Covington. I got a chance to talk to him, and his personality is not like the personality that you see on TV. The guy is fucking cool. He's a cool individual. I was really trying to pick his brain apart and have him answer, these questions that I wanted to ask him. Um, and he was willing. He was willing and able, man. You know what I mean? It wasn't like he was standoffish at all. Kobe Covington he's a pretty cool human being. From the experience that I got from him, Kobe Covington is a pretty cool guy. You know what I mean? So respects to him. I haven't talked to him in a long time. I ended up deleting that Instagram that I did have, and where me and him did exchange DMs and whatnot after we had met each other. But cool guy, man. Cool guy, really is. Kobe is cool. LOL. He isn't as bad as people say he is on screen and stuff. Nah, Master, he really isn't, man. He's a good guy. Kobe Covington is a good guy. I met a lot of fighters, man. I have met a lot of fighters, and let me tell you something. Kobe Covington is just one of those guys that stand out where you're surprised when you meet him because you're like, oh, like I just had a civil conversation with Kobe Covington, and I asked him a couple questions, and he answered them, and he was like an open book, and he was definitely not an asshole to me. So I can't I can't relate to people who be like, oh, I hate Kobe Covington. I can't relate to it because the guy, when I met him in person, the guy was super nice to me. So respects to Kobe, respect to his team, and I'm still a Kobe Covington fan. I really am. Even Kamaru thought he was cool behind the scenes. That's true. Yeah, even Kamaru Usman thought he was cool after meeting him and after really exchanging a conversation with him. He did say on his podcast that him and Kobe Covington did have a good exchange, and he is a cool guy, and he is. He is. He's just one of those type of guys. You know what I mean? He like Dana White says, Kobe Covington gets it. In order to put asses on the seats, you got to be sellable. You got to give them a reason to come out of their houses. And Kobe Covington was definitely that guy that was willing to, push that threshold regardless of the repercussions. So I respect him. I respect him for that. Really. It takes huge courage to do that. It really does. But yeah, guys, back to Ben Askren. I do want to come right back to the main topic of discussion. And it all started with Ben Askren and his health. And, like I said before, health is wealth. We all have to take care of ourselves, man. Take care of yourself. Make sure that you do your due diligence to make sure that your health for the future is taken care of, man. All right? Because you never know what could happen. I highly doubt that Ben Askren thought anything like this was going to happen in his future. But it did. And thanks to the man above, he was granted, a basically a new life because he's died 4 times. So Ben Askren has a second chance at life here, and hopefully he recovers 100%, man. I'm pushing, I'm rooting for you, Ben Askren. I'm praying for you, Ben Askren. Real talk. For you and your family, to you and your wife, to everybody that's surrounded with Ben Askren. Blessings from me to you, Ben. Honestly, man. Blessings from me to you. Yeah, I might have poked fun, at Ben Askren at times. You know what I mean? But the guy's an awesome guy, great attitude, always walking around with a smile, regardless of the situation at hand. Even right now, him at the hospital and in the condition that he's in, he still has high spirits. And that I can commend, man. I can respect that. So to Ben Askren, blessings to him and his family. And I'm praying for your full recovery, my guy. I really am. I really am, man. But guys, like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It takes minimal effort to give me the thumbs up, so you might as well do it. Thank you for supporting independent MMA media. Like I always say, this is your channel. The only channel where the fans come first, not last. You already know what it is, guys. I'm out of here. Thank you. I'll probably most likely go on later on tonight. We shall see. If not, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Blessings to you. You guys have a good one. Thank you for being on this chat. I can't thank you guys enough. And thank you for building this community and continuously supporting this channel. I really appreciate you guys. One love. You already know.